And we are on.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Talking in?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Okay, I'll unplug it. I won't be able to hear you. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, my lovely friend. Turn this mouse off in case I don't want to accidentally push a button. It is a cheapo
Thank you.
mouse. Thank you. I miss you.
Hello, everybody coming in. This is an AA meeting.
Won't be saying your names unless if you give me permission to do so. Because it is an AA meeting and that is not my information to give. And I did get permission from Roy and Becky. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you guys. And I started doing the AA meetings because it's something I'm passionate about. I got this gift given to me and I'm giving it out. So, because I know a lot of people cannot go to a meeting for whatever reason, but if my meetings here can reach anyone and help them, that's my purpose. I'm not doing it for views. I'm not doing it for any money or anything like that. This is solely on Tuesdays and Saturdays is for AA. Wednesday mornings is my adventures. So, if you want to watch my adventure videos, it's Wednesday mornings after Ava Potterfield and Friends. I go live at 7:30 a.m. And this Saturday, I will not be going live for AA because I will be out of town for my birthday. Woo woo, which is today. Happy birthday, sis.
Happy birthday.
Yes, we do AA on a birthday. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is. If there's a meeting and we feel like going to that meeting, we go to the meeting. And believe me, when I say I need a meeting, I need a meeting. I'm not joking.
Thank you, Jolly.
You all are helping me by being here and giving the word out that there is hope. And I thank everybody for that. So,
Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. We appreciate that.
yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to start my channel out as AA, but I was conflicting because I wasn't sure about how it would work. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. I could make it to where I don't put the comments in the chat. If you go over to my YouTube channel, you will not see any chat. None. Because this is a private meeting here. I do not spread people's information. I don't ask for your information. That is not my spot. You are you to tell your own story about what kind of help you need, if you need any. However,
yes, it's actually our birthday.
I had quit smoking for 60 days. 60 days. And guess what? Yes, I gave in. But that's the only thing I've given into. But, that's a hard one to kick. The alcohol to me, yeah, I went through my withdrawals. I did all of this stuff. And I'm glad I did
Enjoy,
it.
Becky.
Every morning's been worth being here and being sober for 8 years.
Yep.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead and grab a drink of water and say the Serenity Prayer. If you have a book, please follow along. If not, it's okay. If you would like one, you can get them from a meeting, or you can get them. I'm not sponsored by Amazon, not employed by Amazon, but you can get them on Amazon. And so we are reading the 12 Steps in the 12 Traditions book, page 155, Tradition 6. And I'm going to start with the Serenity Prayer. Let me grab a drink of water. Okay. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay. I'm going to read the steps and then we'll go into the tradition for today. 12 steps. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 8. Admitted to God, to ourselves. Huh?
You're on number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, you said 8.
Oh, my bad. Trying to go back and forth, you get confused. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being of the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all defects of character. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all people we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continued to take personal inventory and when wrong, promptly admit it. 8. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve
11.
our contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out.
That was 11.
Huh?
That was 11.
I said 11.
You said 8. You said 8.
I'm all birthday on today. Sorry, guys. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Okay. Tradition 6.
5. I thought we were on 5.
No, we're on 6.
Oh, I missed.
We did 6, or we did 5 on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm behind.
It's okay. We all get off losing stuff, forgetting stuff. It's kind of funny. It hasn't been very good, but I'm working to make it better because I gotta laugh at something. Yesterday was like, yeah, anyways. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. The moment we saw that we had an answer for alcoholism, it was reasonable, or so it seemed at the time, for us to feel that we might have the answer to a lot of other things. The AA groups many thought could go into business, might finance any enterprise, whatever in the total field of alcoholism. In fact, we felt duty-bound to throw the whole weight of the AA name behind any meritorious cause. Here are some of the things we dreamed. Hospitals didn't like alcoholics, so we thought we'd build a hospital chain of our own. People needed to be told what alcoholism was, so we'd educate the public. Even rewrite school and medical textbooks. We'd gather up derelicts from Skid Row, sort of those who could get well, and make it possible for the rest to earn their livelihood in a kind of quarantine confinement. Maybe these places would make large sums of money to carry on our other good work. We seriously thought of rewriting the laws of the land and having it declared that alcoholics are sick people. No more would they be jailed. Judges would parole them in our custody. We'd spill AA into dark regions of dope addiction and criminality. We'd form groups of depressive and paranoid folks. The deeper the neurosis, the better we'd like it. It stood to reason that if alcoholism could be licked, so could any problem.
Let me read.
I need to drink water.
It occurred to us that we could take what we had into the factories and cause laborers and capitalists to love each other. Our uncompromising honesty might soon clean up politics. With one arm around the shoulder of religion and the other around the shoulder of medicine, we'd resolve their differences. Having learned to live so happily, we'd show everybody else how. Why we thought our Society of Alcoholics Anonymous might prove to be a spearhead of a new spiritual advance. We might transform the world. Yes, we of AA did dream those dreams. How natural that was, since most alcoholics are bankrupt idealists. Nearly every one of us had wished to do great good, perform great deeds, and embody great ideals. We are all perfectionists who, failing perfection, have gone to the other extreme and settled for the bottle and the blackout. Providence through AA had brought us within reach of our highest expectations. So why shouldn't we share our way of life with everyone? Whereupon we tried AA hospitals. They all bogged down because you cannot put an AA group into business. Too many busybody cooks spoil the broth. AA groups had their fling at education, and when they began to publicly whoop up the merits of this or that brand, people became confused. Did AA fix drunks, or was it an educational project? Was AA spiritual or medical? Was it a reform movement? In con-
Consternation.
we saw ourselves getting married to all kinds of enterprises, some good and some not so good. Watch alcoholics committed willy-nilly to and prisons or asylums. We began to cry. There ought to be a law. AA commenced to thump tables in legislative committee rooms and agitated for legal reform. That made good newspaper copy, but little else. We saw we'd soon be mired in politics. Even inside AA, we found it
Imperative.
imperative to remove the AA name from clubs and 12th step houses. These adventures implanted a deep rooted conviction that in no circumstance could we endorse any related enterprise, no matter how good. We of Alcoholics Anonymous could not be all things to all men, nor should we try.
Years ago, this principle of non-endorsement was put to a vital test. Some of the great distilling companies proposed to go into the field of alcohol education. It would be a good thing, they believe, for the liquor trade to show a sense of public responsibility. They wanted to say that liquor should be enjoyed, not misused. Hard drinkers ought to slow down, and problem drinkers, alcoholics, should not drink at all. In one of their trade associations, the question arose of just how this campaign should be handled. Of course, they would use the resources of radio, press, and films to make their point. But what kind of person should head the job? They immediately thought of Alcoholics Anonymous. If they could find a good public relations man in our ranks, why wouldn't he be ideal? He'd certainly know the problem. His connection with AA would be valuable because the fellowship stood high in public favor and hadn't any enemy in the world. Soon they'd spotted their man, an AA with the necessary experience. Straight away, he appeared at New York's AA headquarters, asking, "Is there anything in our traditions that suggests I shouldn't take a job like this one? The kind of education seemed good to me, and it is not too controversial. Do you headquarters folks see any bugs in it?" At first glance, it did look like a good thing. Then doubt crept in. The association wanted to use our members' full name in all its advertising. He was to be described by both as its director of publicity and a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, of course. There couldn't be the slightest objection if such an association hired an AA member solely because of his public relations ability and his knowledge of alcoholism. But that wasn't the whole story. For in this case, not only was an AA member to break his anonymity
Anonymity.
At a public level, he was to thank the same Alcoholics Anonymous to this practical educational project in the minds of millions. It would be bound to appear that AA was now backing education, liquor trade association style. The minute we saw this compromising fact for what it was, we asked the prospective publicity director how he felt about it. Great guns, he said. Of course, I can't take the job. The ink wouldn't be dry on the first ad before an awful shriek would go up from the dry camps. They'd be out with lanterns and
Sorry.
it's all right, looking for an honest AA to plump for their brand of education. AA would land exactly in the middle of the wet-dry controversy. Half the people in this country would think we'd signed up with the dries, and other half would think we joined the wets. What a mess. Nevertheless, we pointed out, you still have a legal right to take this job. I know that, he said, but this is no time for legalities. Alcoholics Anonymous saved my life, and it comes first. I certainly won't be the guy or girl to land AA in big-time trouble, and this would really do it. Concerning endorsements, our friend had said it all. We saw a never before that could not lend the AA name to any cause other than our own. That, my friends, is the purpose of me doing this. I got it for free. I give it to you for free. I don't say your names. I refuse to unless I have your permission. I'm not making money. I'm not asking for money. AA has helped me through a lot, because I have the knowledge here and I can stop and think. Before I do it, I can think, okay, am I going to go down this rabbit hole and say, oh, well, I throw it out the window? That's a possibility. Or I can go on this better road, a higher road I call it, and take it to the beauty. I'm not going to promise every day is going to be great, because you're going to have your bad days. But when you're sober, it is much easier to realize you do have a problem, you do need help, and it's free. It is all free. You can get a book, go to an AA meeting. They're everywhere. Google it. You'll find one. For sure. or if you're having a problem and you just want to vent to someone, you can do that too. We are not saying you have to go to a meeting. We're not saying that you can't talk to a friend or a stranger or whatever about your problem. Shoot, when I first started AA, I went and I sat literally in the middle of town, just sitting there with my AA books. A man walked up to me and he says, AA, huh? I said, yeah, I've been sober for a while, but I think I might need some help. And mind you, he was drinking. I wasn't. And I said, yeah, I'm stuck on step 4. And he goes, I can't do step 11. I was like, yeah, it's really, really hard to want to do the work. Or even feel like you can do the work because you don't know which way you want to go. It took me a while to realize, maybe I should really stop and listen to these people in this meeting. And I told God, I got my sponsor like the next day after my first meeting. It might have been 2 days later. But I called a couple of people because I wanted to find out when the next meeting was. That was my first meeting. And actually remembering going to this meeting and thinking, okay, I really need to do this. I really, really think that this could help me. And so I called a few people on the list that they gave me of females, and the only person that answered her phone became my first sponsor. I cannot say, yes, she's sober every day. That's not my place. That is up to her to do. But she helped me in ways that nobody else has. And she made me realize the things that I had been holding in that were making me go nuts, it wasn't my fault. And the things that were, I needed to make amends to them. So the amends thing was the hard one. And I drank when my children were teenagers. I'm admitting that now. They know what it does to a person. And so I have to say AA saved my life. Me doing my steps every day saves my life.
And
I'm sure it has saved my sister's life.
And it was not because of publications. It was word of mouth from someone else.
Yes, my friend, who I've known since I was 16 years old. I've been messaging with him for quite a while. So he's like, there's an AA meeting. I hadn't seen him in years, many, 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 many years. And I was like, I could do that. Yeah. I'll meet you at AA. I met him at AA. I was sitting there when he got there. Because I had to have somebody that I knew there. If I didn't have that, I wasn't like wanting to put myself out there. And so he helped. And then he went out. I'm not going to say anybody's names. That's not my place. But he went out. And I found him. Matter of fact, I caught him. And I was yelling as loud as I could, You better get your butt back to town. And so I went back to town, and he went back to town, and we went and sat at the park, and I talked to him. I said, this is not where you want to be. This is not what you want to do. I know you seriously do not want to go back down that way. That helped. That helps when you're there for a friend that needs it. And I take pride in helping people. I do my steps every day without fail, because if I don't remember what I need to do when situations occur, I don't know what it's going to do. So I make sure and remember, hey, this might be why, or this might be why. That's okay. Okay? Because I can only control me. I can't control any of you. I cannot tell you guys what to do. I'm just saying that there is help out there, and you just have to be the first to make that step for yourself. And if you're a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, a cousin, a brother, a sister, anything, please know that there are people that love you. There are people that care what happens to you. You have to choose you and do you and change you. They can't. They can't. What they're going to do is they're going to step away and let you do it on your own. And before you know it, you hit the bottom and you got nothing. That's a sad, lonely road, if you ask me. But I can't tell you what to do. I can only pray. And I'm not religious, but I know there's something higher than me that keeps me going. And,
Amen to that.
yeah.
So, AA does not publicate their stuff. They have Grapevine, which talks about AA in it. They have all kinds of other reading materials. If you are in need of help, you can look up locations of AA meetings, but they don't broadcast it. They don't put it in newspapers, unless it is specific for AA or recovering folks who need help and get inspired from reading other people's stories. So that's how they publicate. And the people in each group who take the roles of secretary, treasurer, and all those do not get paid.
No.
They do it voluntarily as an AA member. So if you donate to them at a meeting, it is for the rent of the place, it's for the coffee, it's for the whatevers, but they don't really publicize and shout it out. It is word of mouth, basically, only.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can help people by being here on my sister's platform, then that helps me keep myself accountable and keep myself sober.
That's the point of a sponsor. A sponsor is supposed to be somebody that you can call at any time, any place. If you have an issue, there's always someone to talk to. Always. But if you want to have that, you're going to need to find a meeting so that way you can meet these people and get their phone numbers, because a lot of people will not put that information on the internet. I know I won't. I'm not going to share any of my personal information on the internet. I will be advice. So if you have a question, you can put it in the comment and I can bring it up in here. Unless if you don't want that said. Or you can ask me right here and my sister will read it, and if I have permission to say your name, I will do so. But if you do not wish for me to say your name, I will not do that. That is not my spot. Not my spot at all. I do know that a lot of the people that come here follow me on YouTube. So I am broadcasting through here so that way this chat, make it even better, this chat will disappear completely. I do not want to say anyone's name on accident or any like that.
Thank you, Roy and Becky, for being here on our birthday AA.
Thank you, everyone.
And we appreciate your support.
A lot. We have a lot of people that we watch because that's what we started doing. I've loved this platform for a very, very long time. I've always wanted and thought about doing a channel. And so if I can use it for a better purpose here, I will. But like I said, I will not give people's information. That's not for me to do, because not everybody wants their family or what have you to know that, oh, well, they're an alcoholic. Well, no, technically, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm not a drunk.
Later, friend.
Who?
Your friend.
Oh, see you later. Have a great day. So, but yeah, oh, I just now seen it. I appreciate you too. But yeah, that is one thing. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to start getting into the big book and highlighting stuff that jumps out at me. Get the whole book highlighted. My first go through both books, yeah, they were highlighted everywhere. Everywhere. I'm not kidding. But I gave those away, so I got new ones. And yeah. But the traditions meetings are not as long as the steps, because the steps go in depth of everything that we need to work on. So, but I'm going to go ahead and end the live. I want to thank everybody for being here. Roy and Becky Travels, thank you for the raid. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. I'm going to relax for my birthday and just wait till tomorrow. I cannot wait until tomorrow.
I'm going to take me a birthday nap.
I am going live tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please come and watch me. I might have a special guest. I don't know if he's going to accept my link, but he might. So he is another friend of mine that I met at work. And so he's on his own adventure right now. And if I can help him out by showing him how to do this, I'm going to do it. So what I know anyways. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Have a beautiful weekend. And I will see you tomorrow for my adventures that we're heading to tomorrow night. Love you guys. Thank you for being here.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Keep coming back. It works. It's working. Bye.
Bye, guys.